Hey y'all, happy Wednesday. It's been a busy morning already, a busy day. I had women's this morning and we had good conversation and enjoyed that. And I'm thankful for the ladies that came out. In trying to decide what I wanted to talk about today, because I'm random. I'm not like Pastor Mike. He does the same thing through the whole week. I'm random. That's just who I am. I'm channeling my inner Weezer today. For those of you who love Steel Magnolias, you'll know that reference. But I like wearing overalls. Always have. Have always had them as a kid. I just like them. So, in trying to decide what to talk about, I just can't get past, again, what I talked about yesterday, Isaiah 41:10, and how he upholds us with his righteous hand. But then as I get to thinking, our self-worth so many times is damaged because of what somebody else's thoughtless words say, or their actions. More so their actions to me. I'm more of you show me how you truly feel by your actions than by your words, because your words are deceiving and your words can... Some people are really good at words, really, really, really good at words, but their actions speak a whole different language. So I watch people more, watch their actions more, but so many times we let the fear of what other people are going to say or do, or we don't even know how to respond, or however, we let fear get in our way. And in Romans 8:15 it says, "So you should not be like cowering, fearful slaves. You should behave instead like God's very own children, adopted into his family, calling him Father, dear Father. For his Holy Spirit speaks to us deep in our hearts and tells us that we are God's children. And since we are his children, we will share his treasures, for everything God gives to his Son Christ is ours too. But if we share his glory, we must also share his suffering." So we should not live cowering and fearful of what other people think, or what other people say, or what other people want to portray. We talked about it this morning. I am learning at my old age that what other people think of me is none of my business, and how other people treat me is not a reflection of me. It's a reflection of them and their insecurities, or their jealousy, or their bitterness, or their anger, or their frustration, or their whatever it may be. That's on them. That's not on me. You should behave instead like God's very own children, adopted into his family, calling him Father, dear Father. For his Holy Spirit speaks to us deep in our hearts and tells us that we are God's children. So we are God's children. Does he discipline his children? He absolutely does. And sometimes that discipline hurts. Sometimes that discipline is hard. Sometimes that discipline is easy. Sometimes that discipline is just a still small, hey, let's not do that again. Let's not say that again. Let's not go there again. Sometimes it's just that we don't know where to turn feeling that we get, and that's when we get in trouble, because we a lot of times will turn the wrong direction. And then Romans 8:25 or 26, "And the Holy Spirit helps in our distress. For we don't even know what we should pray for or how we should pray, but the Holy Spirit prays for us with groanings that cannot be expressed in words. And the Father who knows all hearts knows what the Spirit is saying. And the Spirit pleads for us believers in harmony with God's will. And we know that God causes everything to work together for the good of those who love God." So many times people will judge an action when they don't know the heart. Or they will say that person can't be a Christian because they were at the bar, or they were there, or they were whatever it may be. I saw him drinking a beer, or whatever it may be. We get so caught up in that kind of stuff. God knows our hearts, and the Father who knows all hearts, He knows our heart. Even if we are stuck in something that we don't understand and we don't know how to get out of it, He knows our heart. He truly knows what our heart's desire is. And our heart's desire is to serve Him and to love Him and to whatever. He knows exactly what our heart's desire is. Do our hearts mess up sometimes? Yes, they do. But He knows our hearts. And sometimes we don't know how to pray. Been real honest about fear and all of that. There were many days I didn't know how to pray. I was just so afraid of the things that were happening. And then when I get a message that shakes me to my core, I again go back to that fear. But I'm learning, and He is teaching me. I don't have to do that. I don't have to go back to that place, because He has taken me out of that place for a purpose and a reason. He knows my heart, and He knows I'm chasing after Him with all that I can. Do I still make mistakes? Absolutely. I positively do. But He knows my heart, and that's why He's given me the Holy Spirit. He helps us in our distress, for we don't know what we should pray for, nor how we should pray, but the Holy Spirit prays for us with groans that cannot be expressed in words. And the Father who knows all hearts knows what the Spirit is saying, for the Spirit pleads for us believers in harmony with God's will. And we know that God causes everything to work together for the good of those who love God. Does that mean everything in your life is going to go peachy keen? No. Are you going to have that one Barabbas in your life, that one that's like a thorn in your side, that's constantly there, constantly waiting for you to fail, constantly looking for a crack in your shell so they can kick you while you're down? Absolutely, you're going to have that person. You're going to have that person. That's when you go and you let the Holy Spirit plead for you, because you don't know how. You don't know how to pray for that person. You don't know how to pray for that situation, because in our flesh, we want to respond and we want to react and we want to throat punch somebody. But in chasing and being a child of God, sometimes we have to step back. Because yes, sometimes violence is the answer, but yes, sometimes violence is not. Sometimes it's just stepping back, deflecting that blow, and saying, okay, I'm done. But Lord, I don't know how to pray for this person anymore. That blow was too low, too hard, too fast, whatever it may be. It's been constant, Lord, for the past however long it's been. It may have been 20 years. This person has been the thorn in your side, or it may have been 2 days or 2 months or 2 years. That's when you allow the Holy Spirit to plead for you and to pray for you and to help you to learn how to handle those moments in your life that you don't know how to handle. The Holy Spirit helps us in our distress. Those 3 words that we talked about yesterday, Lord, help me. Help me to figure out how to handle this situation. Help me to get out of this situation. Help me to open a door that I thought you closed. Help me to walk through that door. That was my prayer to Him, but to the Lord yesterday. I said, Lord, if this is the door that you want opened, help me to walk through it. And if you have to push me, push me. Sometimes that's what we have to do. Because sometimes we get so caught up in our hurt, so caught up in our grief, so caught up in our anger, so caught up in bitterness, so caught up in jealousy, so caught up in all things that we are not the person that God has created us to be, because we've allowed our flesh to take over. And that's where we allow the Spirit to help us in our distress and let Him help us get through the moments that are difficult, because He loves us. He called us. You should behave instead like God's very own children, adopted into His family, calling Him Father, dear Father. He calls us. He chose us. He is our Abba Father. He loves us more than anybody on this earth, more than anybody in heaven, more than anybody anywhere. He loves us more. And I was a daddy's girl. My picture's in the dictionary beside daddy's girl because I was a daddy's girl. But I know that God loved me more than my earthly father did. And in a way my earthly father couldn't. He loved me more. And that's one thing that I hold on to, that I am so thankful for, that I am so grateful for, because he's seen me through a lot of things. He's heard a lot of groanings and utterances coming from the Holy Spirit because I didn't know how to pray. When you're deep in grief, and you're deep in caregiving, and you're deep in strife, you don't know how to pray. But when you allow the Holy Spirit to do that for you, God still hears you, and God still wants to work all things out to the glory of his good. So hang in there and know that he gave you the Holy Spirit for a reason. Lean into him in your time of distress, in your time of not knowing how to handle a situation. Lean into him and allow him to guide you through that, to woe you up if that's what you need, or to spur you on if that's what you need. Sometimes we bang on the door that we wanted opened so hard that he's like, okay, but that ain't gonna do, that's not what you need. Just take the time and hear from him and know that he loves you and he wants what's best for you. So allow him those moments. Allow him to penetrate your heart and to give you all that you have need of. Tonight we have youth. If your child needs a ride tonight, please text or call the church phone, 918-399-5956, and we will get them picked up and take care of them. They will be fed, and they will maybe be dirty because they get out here and they play and they have a good time. I like watching the kids play because they do have a lot of fun. So I'm thankful for all of you parents that allow your children to come out and be a part of our youth and are part of our children's. Really, really appreciate you. And girls, we will be having the girls camp May the 20th through the 24th. I will be getting permission slips out probably next week to hand out for the girls to take home, because I do have to have a permission slip signed, because we are going to be doing self-defense. We are going to be working with power tools. We are going to be working around a vehicle. We are going to be going down to the range. So we're going to be doing a lot of things. So I will have to have a permission slip, because that is very important. I hope that you girls would come. I hope you will send your child, girls 13 to 18. If they are a mature 12-year-old, just come talk to me. I'll talk to your daughter. And it's not that we're going to be going over anything that they shouldn't hear, but I just want, I don't want them to be uncomfortable either. So then the boys camp will be July the 8th through the 12th. I think is when it is. July 8th through the 12th. Yes, July 8th through the 12th will be Young Warriors Camp for boys 13 to 18. If you have any questions about that, talk to Pastor Mike. He's the one that will be doing that. And again, we will feed them breakfast and lunch. So if you want to sponsor either one of these camps, please just let me know. And because it's going to take funds. It takes funds to do this. We've got to buy materials and things such as that. We're going to do a little bit of just sewing, not anything complicated, just how to sew on a button, how to hem something, how to repair a seam, just simple things. I have most of that stuff. I have a lot of things. I have a lot of buttons, so I will be bringing that stuff, because I'm like my Grandma Jones. My Grandma Jones sewed for other people, and she always kept the buttons, and I have her tin of buttons. And then I also had somebody give me a tin of buttons, and so I have buttons, so I will have plenty of buttons for them to sew on. But it's just things like that. We're going to try to learn some skills, try to learn some just how to have some etiquette, how to walk, how to sit, how to, just different things. We're going to try and do all kinds of things and just make it enjoyable and fun. We will have a time of praise and worship, and so it's going to be a great time. Each camp is going to be fun for the boys and the girls. So if you want to sponsor that, please let me know. We definitely need help, and we will need funds for those. I want to thank our sponsors for this program: Dawn and Sheila Ferris, Kim Morris, Gordon and Dee Kennard, Stacy Reese at My Travel Misha, Genesis Home Health, Parco Tax, Watkins Family, and Travis and Maddie Holloway. Thank you all so much for pouring into this program. I'm so thankful for y'all, because without you guys, we couldn't do it. Because we have things that we have to upgrade, we have things that we've got to take care of, and without those funds, we wouldn't be able to do it. So I'm so grateful for you guys. Thank you so much, and I hope you guys have a great day and evening, and I will see you on here tomorrow.